What's up, Dorksiders? I'm Nick Comics.
And I'm Brand X.
And we're here today to give you guys the spoiler-filled episode breakdown for Season 6, Episode 11 of The Walking Dead.
Absolutely. Lots of things have gone down in this episode. And I think the group has maybe gotten into some things that they're really overconfident about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be that easy to take out Negan and the Saviors. But it doesn't matter what we really think because it is going down. And, it is nice to know right off the bat that Jesus, his character, could be trusted. And he actually is one of the more honest people that they've had in the show, period.
Right? It does seem like that. So breaking it down, we start off, with, what's his name, Abraham and Sasha. Abraham seems to be a little conflicted as to whether he wants to stay with, Rosita or whether he wants to be with, Sasha. And that's where we start. And, Sasha says that she's, switching shifts with Eugene. Eugene's going to be walking the perimeter with him.
Knowing Sasha, it is a good point that you made earlier about how she feels like she's starting to get close, so she's backing off.
She's backing off, that's right.
And she, in previous seasons, she's had a real big problem with that, and it makes total sense. But,
she's had some trust issues, and she's been kind of like a loner. We've seen her go almost psychotic.
Yeah, when Bob died, and then right after that, Tyrese died, her brother. So I think she is. I think she's very afraid to get attached to somebody.
Absolutely.
And her and Abraham have been, kind of paired up for quite a while now. So
well, and it does seem like they had a lot of the same issues.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's almost like they were there working each other through the issues that they
helping
had,
helping
each other out, and that can form a bond. That you can't deny.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's still with Rosita. And so that breaks where we go next, which is she gives him the necklace that she made him out of the brake light, which later on he ends up losing in the episode. And I don't know if there's supposed to be some hidden sort of symbolism behind that.
Right.
But then, they get with Jesus, and he tells them about their community and how the whole world's about to change. And boom, the group goes off to the hilltop.
And obviously, they did. They had a group, and they had walls, and it looked like a pretty good community. Of course, when they first get there and the guys who are watching over the walls have spears, that wasn't such a good sign.
Yeah, maybe these guys aren't able to really take care of themselves. All their guns are gone or ammo. They don't have any ammo. And then, of course, the man in charge.
Jeffrey, he tries to play it up like, oh, we're fine. We don't need anything,
As well as, by today's standards, sexually harassing the shit out of Maggie.
Right.
I really feel like if Glenn was there, that guy might have lost some teeth,
Oh, yeah, definitely. And Maggie has kind of stepped up as somewhat of like a consigliere. She pretty much has taken,
Diana.
pretty much taken her spot. And, everybody trusts her to do it, and with good reason. I mean, she totally put Gregory in his place.
She did, especially at the end of the episode, which
Absolutely.
we're getting to. But at the first, it almost does seem like he catches her a bit off guard because she was just not. Maybe it's even because Jesus is such a friendly guy,
right?
Maybe she was kind of caught off guard as to what a douchebag he was.
Exactly. I don't think she was expecting him to be as big, as confrontational as he was.
That's right.
But
and while that's going on, some people that are part of the hilltop, they come back, and I guess they were meeting with Negan.
And Negan pretty much accused them of shorting them, all the supplies that they're supposed to give.
And exactly, so one guy tries to kill Jeffrey, and he's stopped by Rick. Rick ends up killing him. There's like a confrontation between Rick's group and the people there as to who's actually done wrong. Of course, we know the dude that tried to kill Rick. I mean,
exactly.
That's the culprit. And Rick's like, what?
Yeah, is this something you guys aren't used to?
He tried to kill me. I killed him.
That was probably one of my favorite scenes. Is he's standing there with blood all over him, and people are like looking at him like, oh my god, and he's just like, dude, this is normal.
What?
What
are you looking at?
I mean, that was just so awesome.
It was cool.
It just goes to show how just badass Rick has become, man.
Exactly. Which leads to, I think, what we were talking about earlier. The possible bad decision is that, Rick may have gotten a little too big for his britches. I mean, yeah, you're a badass, but without even knowing what he's up against, without even knowing what Negan has at his command. Because in the previous episode, Daryl and them blew him up with a bunch of rocket launchers, his men and stuff like that, and they blew those guys up. It seems like, between that and their, like, them taking down the governor and whatever, they've just gotten, like, this mindset that they can't lose, or he can't lose, and...
Well, it's like Daryl says, he's like, it's just a bunch of hearsay, the boogeyman ain't shit. Well, it's like, okay, there may be some truth to that, but at the same time, it's like, I know he's feeling a little bit more cocky because he did have a run-in with some of his guys, and they took care of him.
Right.
I think they're just underestimating how, they're looking at this group as like, okay, there may be quite a few of them, but they're weak.
Right.
They're a weak group.
But here's the thing. If let's break this down just from a normal person's perspective, like from our perspective.
Right.
Like, these guys have been, who knows how many settlements there are that Negan knows of, that they're going to these settlements, and they're taking half of what they have continuously, right?
Right.
So basically, food, ammo, weaponry, whatever. They're taking this from all these medicine.
All that.
I mean, so then they're also attracting people.
Yes.
Because of what they have. So God knows how many people in these settlements that they've gone and taken stuff from have turned turncoat. Which, by the way, I'm just putting it out there. I'm thinking that the guy that they that they took with them at the end of the episode,
Rick was saying they needed.
Something doesn't feel right with that guy. He's going to turn turncoat. Yes, he's an inside man maybe or something. I don't know, but I've got that feeling. But anyways, they just haven't really thought this through, I don't think. And, Rick's confident, but, we all know from the comics, Negan's a badass.
Oh, absolutely.
The Saviors are badasses.
Absolutely. So, and even at the end of the episode when Rick turns to Michonne and he's like, are you up for this? She straight up says it's going to be a fight. I think if anybody in the group has any idea of what they're possibly really stepping into, is Michonne. I don't think she's under any illusions whatsoever. She knows it's going to be a bloodbath. And I just want to point out also that Glenn is one of the people going on this.
Exactly. And to go along with that, Maggie also said it's going to cost us something.
You damn
and
right.
When she said that, it was like, oh, is that some foreshadowing?
Mm-hmm.
And then how will Maggie end up feeling towards Rick when in the beginning she said, this is going to cost us something, maybe I don't want to do this, and her husband dies.
Exactly. Because, dude, if her husband dies, she's not, obviously, dude, she's not going to give a shit about the deal.
Exactly.
It's like she's pretty much going to lose everything. I mean, in the episode you see them, like, they actually, get a picture of their baby.
Right.
And like, all these things are looking forward to, and Glenn telling Abraham, Abraham's pretty much asking him, like, why would you bring a kid into this world knowing the way it is? And Glenn says, we're trying to build something, me and her, all of us. Yes. And it's like, once he's taken out of the picture,
her world's going to crumble.
Exactly. She's already lost her sisters, her father. Glenn is her her stone, man, and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Well, at the very end, we get to see the previews from next week, and the one thing I do agree with Rick on, and it was actually something that was in the preview of next week's episode, is when he's sitting there saying that we were going to deal with these guys eventually.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's one thing that, up until that point, I was like, what are you doing, Rick? But then it's like, yeah, what happens when these guys come knocking at their door?
Exactly.
And then, now they've sized Rick up. They've sized the community up. Mm-hmm. They know what they have. At least right now, he's got element of surprise.
Yes.
They don't know about them. And, that's one thing they do have going for them. And if they were inevitably going to run in with these people, maybe preemptive strike is the best course of action.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Not to play devil's advocate on what I just said, but at the same time, I do see that point of view of we were gonna run across these guys.
Yeah, may
eventually.
as well go ahead and like he says in the very first episode of this season, we have to come for them before they come for us.
That's right.
And at least before they go and take this mission on, they do end up going back to Alexandria and getting more people. Because like you see Carol with them, and you see more people along with them. So That's definitely a smart move. They didn't need to go from point A to point B without strengthening up. So
okay, so we're hitting the 10-minute marker. So let's go speculation for next week. What do you think? Is Morgan going to come with? And what is Morgan's position on this going to be? Because outright, they're saying we're going to go take care of these guys. I doubt very much Rick's plan is to go put them to sleepy time and give them pillows and blankets and put them in prison or whatever. They're going there to kill people. So is Morgan going to agree with it? And if he does go with, is he going to compromise the mission?
I think Morgan needs to sit this one out. Or, if he does go with, maybe it will be that final moment that snaps him back into the reality of, you know what? Dude, people get in your way, they just gotta go. Maybe this mission will be what does it, because if not, he just needs to stay behind. Because he's a healer at this point, and going into a mission like this, the last thing they need is a healer. They need fighters. They need warriors. So, yeah. I don't see Morgan being a helping hand at all.
Me either. I think that if anything, Morgan should be in rear guard at the vehicle, and if they run into problems, maybe he can come in and try to help them then.
Right.
When he's got no choice but to go in. But I would really hate to see them trying to do something, trying to take somebody out that's at a crucial moment, and him stop them or intervene or something like that, because that's going to get everybody killed. Which is the one thing that Morgan doesn't seem to understand, is that his pacifism has consequences.
Exactly. Maybe not directly to him, but to other people in the group.
Which is almost worse if you're going to be a pacifist, and you care about other people's lives. You're hurting the people that are the closest to you by not doing what needs to be done.
In the end, it makes no sense. You're trying to save other people and killing the people that you're already in a group with, And that's, on the other hand of that, I think it's great that they're taking Carol, because Carol's not afraid to fucking end anybody that needs to go.
We brought the Carolinator from the future. Cyberdyne Model 6126.
Exactly, and that means business.
Yep.
So, but, as I don't know. I just see this episode as pretty much being the introduction to things getting really violent. And us starting to lose some members of the group. So
yes, and of course, since we are doing a spoiler review, spoiler in the future, Negan is cast to be in the very last episode of the season.
We will see him, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be killing some people.
Probably, and so whether this means that we're going to see him in some capacity interacting with the group, whether there's some of them are going to get captured and he comes in to interrogate them or something, what kind of introduction we're going to have to him and how it's going to play out, no one knows. But I do feel like next season will really be the big Negan arc.
Yes.
So it's interesting to think what's the rest of this season gonna hold? Are they gonna go over there and get out, and he'll have one of them prisoner, and then it'll be like a big governor battle over the over next season? Who knows? But what did you guys think of today's episode? I know we've sat up here rambling for a good 15 minutes or so about what we thought. What did you guys think about the episode?
Yeah,
did
drop
you
us
like
a line. Let us know, because there may be things we haven't even thought about. So definitely hit us up. Let us know what you think. And I don't know. We can all hope for the best, even though we know that there's bad things to come.
There's a bad moon on the rise.
That there is.
Or a bathroom on the right. I'm not sure what that song is actually saying.
Yeah, one of the two. I'm not really sure either, but
well,
I don't think it really matters in the end.
Hope you had fun.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you for joining us, and as well, subscribe. Please subscribe, because after all, without you, we are just two guys doing videos and
making funny faces in the camera to ourselves. But
and we like making them for you, so please subscribe and spread the word. And please join us next week after the next episode of The Walking Dead, episode 12. We will be right here.
Absolutely, and as always, may the nerd be with you.
Definitely.